sincerely appreciate the discussion thus far, and especially the comments from all my colleagues. At an opening level, just wanted to note, outside of the budget sub 2 arena, where I'm going to have a couple specific questions. Appreciate the attention my colleagues have put on school reopening. Some of the concerns from Los Angeles, especially, I think should be noted. Very encouraged, though, to see some movement on mental health and homelessness, especially in residential care facilities and some of the CalAIM innovations that are being looked at. So excited to do more work there, as well as in developmental disabilities and restoring some of the IHSS funding that is so sorely needed for those who are all alone going through this pandemic at home. Within the budget sub 2 arena, though, I want to drill down on Wildfire, as well as this deferred maintenance question. So my first question is about, on the Wildfire front, I was going through the BCP here and trying to get a sense of exactly where the $1 billion proposed for the wildfire and forest resilience strategy is headed. And, my concern here is that when I look at the funding, and I know fire safe councils have been brought up by a diverse range of members here, but fire safe councils are just one element of community hardening, a different approach to, say, wildfire prevention than simply large-scale forestry management in timber zones. The kind of work that happens around communities like just experienced the El Dorado fire or Blue Ridge or the Valley Fire in San Diego or the Bobcat Fire in LA County. Historically, these counties and these projects have received a short shrift, and this budget proposal doesn't seem to be any different. 4%, I think, of the total billion is pointed towards community hardening. It looks like about 96% is towards a broad range of forestry and forestry health projects. And while I wholeheartedly support some of these accelerated forestry health projects, you're talking about on a per capita basis, not on a per acre basis, but on a per capita basis, wildfire funding has not been going to large population centers. And so I wanted to get a little sense from the administration or from Department of Finance what the strategy is here, why such a small amount for community hardening, and why not try to restore some of the historic imbalance that we've seen. 93% of all funds in wildfire prevention over the last 4 years since 2017, 93% have gone to these sort of timber-oriented, larger northern projects, for lack of a better proxy. It's not just north, but tends to be. And when you combine LA County, Orange County, San Diego County, San Bernardino County, Imperial County, Ventura County, Riverside County, they've received about 3% of that funding. So there's a mismatch here. I want to raise it, get a quick reaction. I know this is going to take a lot more work. So just curious your thoughts.
Yes, thank you, Senator Stern. Can I turn that question over to Allison or a colleague, a finance colleague? Thank you.
Hi, Senator Stern. This is Allison Hewitt, Department of Finance. To speak to your question, so a couple of things. The first is when we talk about community hardening, we think about a couple of things. And so so there's the $25 million that's specifically for kind of a home and community critical infrastructure hardening program. And that's where, funds will be made available to go to structures and harden them against wildfires. But we also think about our the funds that are in the budget, of which there's about $100 million, say, in early action for the fire prevention projects, is also a part of that community hardening bucket, because ultimately if you build a strategic fuel break, which is what we've termed the bucket, you're also hardening the community against wildfire and preventing incursion. So just to say that within the package as a whole, I think we're thinking about community hardening a bit more broadly than just the $125 million bucket. The other thing I would flag is that there is some thinking here about trying to make sure that funding is applied statewide, so that we are hitting areas in Southern California that are also prone to fire risk. And in one specific example, I would say the Department of Conservation has their Regional Fire and Forest Capacity Program. And specifically within some of the funds allotted, there will be a target, like a specific focus on Southern California and building regional capacity in those areas.
Thanks for that feedback. I know that regional program itself has some funding. It's a new idea, but once you spread it over all those counties I named, I think we're talking about 22 million Californians who have got about 4% of the funding over the years. There's got to be some rectification here. So I look forward to working with you all on that. And thank you for the response. Lastly, and I know we've had a long hearing here, but on the deferred maintenance proposal, DWR, CAL FIRE, Parks, trying to chip away at their, I think, $1 billion deferred maintenance budget. Just trying to get a sense of why this amount in the one-time funding proposal, and especially in light of the anticipated operating deficits going forward in the coming years. Isn't this a good year to be taking care of more deferred maintenance?
Yes, thank you for that question. And I think the deferred maintenance bucket, as it were, is attempting to deal with some of the maintenance of our state properties. And in regards to the amount, I think that we did want to spend dollars on priorities, including deferred maintenance, and that's sort of where it ended up. But I will hand it over to my colleague for more specific details.
Hi, Teresa Calvert with Finance again. Detail other than to note that it is a balance of funding available for these purposes, and also balancing with the priorities of those entities you mentioned for deferred maintenance, which also has entities outside of the resources area as well.
Do you guys have any plan, though, for the, I guess, several $billion of outstanding deferred maintenance, even if we fund this for the out years? Is there long-term thinking on this deferred maintenance piece?
Part of the proposal, but you're right. I mean, we continue to review that. And as you noted, there are a lot of deferred maintenance needs for state properties.
Okay, thanks. Look forward to following up with you there and digging in deeper into all this.